On Talksport, we may be in the final days of the Erik ten Hag era. Will the club persevere in the face of a growing body of evidence that this team is going absolutely nowhere? Now or never, if the Dutchman wants to avoid being the latest manager to be cast aside on the Old Trafford scrap heap. It's Porto versus Manchester United on match week 2 of the Europa League with the former Chelsea and Aston Villa captain Andy Townsend and Talksport's Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Hugh, and a good evening to you. Well, this may be only the second game out of 8 in the Europa League's opening phase, and a means to an end in this competition rather than a definitive fixture that will polarise United's European fate. The bigger picture, though, makes this a night of real significance. And of course, we've been here before. Erik ten Hag seemingly been beyond the point of no return, only to sign a new deal. But these next 2 games, Porto tonight, Villa on Sunday, could again constitute the witching hour. The charge list is growing. The manner of United's back-to-back home league defeats to Liverpool and Tottenham, the listless draw with Twente in the Europa League, the failure to win against the Palace team in the bottom 4, a match just from the last month. Timing is everything. View of the hierarchy of any Premier League club, there's a lot to be said for making a managerial change in an international break, putting a greater premium on the need for a sharp and immediate upturn in performance and fortunes. At the moment, with every page that's turned, it's harder to envisage the story having a happy ending. This is how Manchester United line up tonight. Onana in goal, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Martinez and Dalot, Eriksen and Casemiro, Ahmad, Bruno Fernandes and Rashford, with Højlund up front. On the bench, Lindelof, Maguire, Zirkzee, Garnacho, Anthony, Ugarte, Evans, Collier, Gore, and the substitute goalkeepers Altay and Heat. Porto, Diogo Costa, João Mario, Zé Pedro, Perez and Francisco Moura, Varela and Eustáquio, Pepe and Galeno out wide, Gonzalez in support of Samu, 5 goals in his 5 games so far this season, up front. And on the bench for Porto, Jalo, Grujic, Fabio Vieira, Vasco Sosa, Jaime Namasso, who was Danny Loda when he played for Reading, Andre Franco, Goul, Martin Fernandes, Borges and Moura, their substitute goalkeeper. They've only got the one, is Claudio Ramos. Referee tonight is Tobias Stieler from Germany, and Bastian Danke is the VAR. Plenty of pyro in evidence, fireworks and smoke, and an excellent tifosi from the Porto fans. Will their side be able to deliver? They too had a lowish ebb by their standards. Blue and white striped shirts, United red shirts, white shorts and black socks will kick from right to left. Well, not for the first time, it's a week that's billed as decisive in the working life of Erik ten Hag. Villa to come, Porto tonight, plenty on the line. A bad week here, and there might not be a chance to have another good week. It is Porto that get us underway, kicking from left to right, and still the smoke from the fireworks drifts around the Estadio do Dragão. And all eyes on the Manchester United midfield. Casemiro alongside Christian Eriksen in there today. Dalot making his way forward, has just lost possession. Ball inside the penalty area. Samu with an opportunity on the turn, which was blocked by the penalty spot. And Manchester United on the back foot inside the opening 20 seconds, Andy Townsend.
Samu it was, who very nearly got that shot away on target. Mazraoui made a really important block, but as expected, a fast start from the home team, recognising that this United side have found it really tough over the last few weeks, so they're going to test their mettle early on.
Well, wins already in Europe today for Spurs and Hearts. Rangers taking on Lyon elsewhere in the Europa League tonight. We'll keep you updated with everything that happens at Ibrox. Live for you now over on Talksport 2. Chelsea underway against Ghent, and the new Saints in Florence at the Artemio Franchi. What a night for them. Porto work the ball forward down the right hand side of the United penalty area. Samu pulling it back, right-footed effort. Onana potentially could have caught, but it wasn't taking any chances. Got a right hand behind it and palmed it away, out for an early corner.
Good play again. João Mario, the right back. just clips that inside. It ends up going down the line. Samu makes a decent run, good strike right from the edge of the area from Galeno, and it's tipped over the bar, as you say, Jim. Onana may have been able to just hang on to that one. No real power, but he just wanted to tip it over the bar, sends it out for a corner.
Couple of minutes in, Manchester United yet to get going already. This has the makings potentially of being a difficult night for them. Ball cleared from the corner out to Pepe. Pulled back to Eustachio in the centre of midfield, and João Mario will be able to pick up possession. Eustachio, the Canadian international, has it again. The one player recalled to the Porto side tonight by under pressure coach Vitor Bruno. And he goes all the way back for his goalkeeper Diogo Costa, who's the first choice for the Portuguese national side as well. Good ball fall from João Mario towards the edge of the area. Samu picking it up. The angle is tight. He's faced up by De Ligt, who made sure that he didn't dive in. Pepe tries to work it back to the edge of the penalty area. There's a sharpness about Porto. First to every second ball at the moment, and United just a little bit tardy in some of the challenges inside the opening 3 minutes.
Yeah, the home team have shifted the ball nicely, quickly, playing a bit of one touch, 1 and 2 touch in and around the edge of United's 18-yard box.
Ball is out of play for another throw to Porto. United yet to have a meaningful touch of the ball inside Porto territory. They get the opportunity now as Porto with Pepe lose possession, and it's gone out of play for a throw. This game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. 0-0 through the opening 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, nothing really for Erik ten Hag in terms of his own team having the ball. So far they've just watched the home team come flying out the blocks, really. They've already got into the United box a couple of times. Now look, you're going to have to weather a storm. It's a European tie against a very well respected team. So when you have to defend, you get back behind the ball, you're compact, break forward when you get the chance.
And Mazraoui's been able to travel good 40 yards for it. Here's Bruno Fernandes working it inside the Porto penalty area. It's easily cleared. Chested down though by the advancing De Ligt. It's better from the United back line. Fernandes again into the feet of Casemiro. Just trying to get away from a couple of challenges. He's lost possession. United win it back. Højlund for Rashford. Edge of the penalty area. The angle increasingly tight. And he'll just pull away down from the dead ball line. Laying it back for Christian Eriksen. Low ball in from him towards the penalty spot. Looking for Højlund. But it's easily cleared. Comes out as far as Lisandro Martinez. Forward from him to Casemiro, a former Porto player. He had a season on loan very early on in his Real Madrid career at Porto, where he made 40-odd appearances for them prior to winning 4 Champions League medals with Real Madrid. Scored in one of the finals as well. Manchester United having better possession now after a nervy, fractious start, but they can bring it forward here with De Ligt, who go out towards the Manchester United right. Ball into the feet of Casemiro. Ahmad showing, wanting the ball in towards feet. Mazraoui waits on the touchline with his arms above his head, but United have changed the line of attack and go down towards the left-hand side instead. Rashford controlling it, and then he'll go back inside his own half for De Ligt.
Yeah, sensible, just keeping the ball moving, ticking over across the midfield from right to left, and then back out the other side, back to the 2 central defenders. Bruno Fernandes there just tries a clever little Rabona. It doesn't come off and they concede possession.
Now Eustachio will be able to play the ball forward. Dalot's done well. He covered the run of Pepe and chests it down and lays it back to his goalkeeper. Dalot, another former Porto player, just 8 appearances for the club before his £19 million move to Manchester United. Ahmad just dropping into the midfield for a moment, picking up possession and then laying it back for the deep line Bruno Fernandes. Just behind him is De Ligt, slowing things down to a walking pace, rolling it into the feet of Casemiro again, and then back towards Onana again. United starting with the 1-1 draw against Twente. This time last week in the group, whilst Porto were beaten surprisingly by the Norwegian side Bodø Glimt. They lost 3-2 in Scandinavia, and one of the 2 was a very late consolation goal. Rashford making his way forward now towards the edge of the penalty area. He's in the box, he's on his right foot. Oh, he squeezed it in past Diogo Costa. Manchester United starting slowly but scoring first. Diogo Costa embarrassed at his near post. His weight going the wrong way. It's hit his right foot and gone in. And Manchester United, on a night where they'll take any luck going, lead by a goal to nil.
And that's classic Marcus Rashford. The way that he picks this ball up, they have a nice bit of composure in the middle of the park between Casemiro and Eriksen, and he's right on the touchline, Marcus Rashford, in front of the benches and the technical areas, runs right at the corner of the 18-yard box at real pace, and I mean sprinting with the ball at his feet, really putting his head down, teasing the fullback, skips between two blue and white shirts and rattles it with his right foot. It's poor goalkeeping from Diogo Costa. The goalie should be throwing his cap on this and saving it. He's gone foot first and he's rolled underneath his foot and gone into the back of the net. But take nothing away from Marcus Rashford. That is when he's at his best, when he gets his head down, runs at pace, has something definite in his mind and goes for it, and he's given United the lead.
Well, he'd only scored one goal in his last 15 games against top flight opposition at home and abroad. That's Rashford's fourth goal of the season all told, and his 26th in Europe for United, who bring it forward again here. Bruno Fernandes has committed a foul, hands out by way of apology. The Hoyland didn't like the decision, no complaints at all from Bruno himself. We're 8 minutes in here on Talksport, and it's Porto 0, Manchester United 1. Here's Andy Townsend.
Yeah, that's a great start for United. We're a little nervy and edgy the opening 3 or 4 minutes because Porto come flying out the blocks. And no better way to settle you down than a really good goal, well taken one from Rashford.
Now Pepe has gone down holding his face. Play is allowed to continue. The German referee more than happy that there was no foul. Ahmad, the right back position for a moment for Manchester United, forced to work it back inside his own 6-yard box for Onana. Pepe's back on his feet, and United will be able to play out with Lisandro Martinez. Early opener here, and the deadlock broken early on at Ibrox as well. David Tanner.
Rangers 0, Olympic Lyon 1 after 10 minutes, and Alexandre Lacazette, the former Arsenal man, forced a terrific save from Jack Butland, and then before Rangers could clear it, Malik Fofana smashed the ball into the back of the net. Rangers a goal down at Ibrox.
So Rangers trailing, Manchester United leading, and TNS still 0-0 at Fiorentina. Chelsea against Ghent is also goalless over on Talksport 2. United sending a long ball forward. Rashford chases that, but Diogo Costa can come out and pick it up on the edge of his own penalty area. 10-goal, 1-0 United.
Yeah, another good run there from Marcus Rashford. Casemiro trying to find him. Just skipped through off this quick surface into the goalkeeper's hands, but that does settle everybody down in a red shirt. The fact that they have their lead, now they can stay compact and be hard to break down.
João Mario working the ball down the right-hand touchline. Pepe chasing after it. A lot of Porto's attacking play has come down the near touchline as we look at it, which is the Porto right. Sandro Martinez slid in. It's a well-timed challenge to knock the ball away from the advancing Pepe. It's Pepe the winger as opposed to Pepe the gnarled old veteran centre-half who's a part of the Porto team last year but is no longer on the books at the age of 41. Ball is out for a throw to Porto. His last touch came off Rashford. He thought it was Zé Pedro's, but it's a Porto ball.
I thought it was Zé Pedro. He actually went to knock it with his right foot. It just hit his left foot. It went straight out. It was a United throw, I felt.
Porto trying to make the most of this opportunity, slightly fortuitous one to have possession back. As Gonzalez is the man on the ball. Goes out towards Galeno on the left flank. As he controlled that in time, he has just very nearly overran it. It's laid back again. Right-footed delivery. Samu there to attack it. Knocked away, though, inside the 6-yard box by the leg. And he goes out of play for a Porto corner there, second.
Vitally important. Having just grabbed the lead, that United do everything to preserve it and protect it. So you need a real strong collective 10 minutes after you've just scored on the road to make sure that you retain control of the game. and that you can see off a little storm again whenever it's coming at you.
So it's going to be a right-footed away swinging corner towards the penalty spot. It's gone for top of Hoyland's head, nodded back down in the penalty area by Gonzalez. And Porto recycle it in the midfield. Played for by Varela inside the penalty area. Eustachio, the Canadian international, bringing the ball down. It will break Gonzalez's way again, just outside the box. Eustachio with an opportunity to try and deliver. Samu takes the ball down. Behind him, one of the Porto players went down by the penalty spot and was claiming he was manhandled. VAR, I'm sure, will be having a cursory glance to see if there was anything in that, but no hint that there was. A play continues.
Yeah, I think it was Diogo Dallo actually there. Big roar went up, didn't it? And we're always looking in the box, but referee not interested at all, nor the VAR guys.
Eustachio back towards the edge of the centre circle. And now Pedro can bring the ball forward towards halfway. Another goal at Ibrox. Here's Talksport's David Tanner.
Rangers behind for 4 minutes. It's now Rangers 1, Lyon 1. And it was a mistake by the goalkeeper who spilled the ball. And Tom Lawrence managed to crash the ball between the goalkeeper and the post. Lawrence, who scored at the weekend against Hibs, appears to have injured himself in the process. But it's Rangers back in the game, 1-1 with Lyon.
Fourth goal of the season for Tom Lawrence, and a goal as well at Stamford Bridge, Hugh.
Chelsea 1, Ghent 0. Renato Vega with the first goal for the club. It was set up down the right from Mykhailo Mudryk. It's been all Chelsea in this first half, and their pressure has told. It is Chelsea 1, Ghent 0.
So Rangers 1-1, Chelsea leading 1-0, Manchester United leading. Suspicion of potentially an offside. Samu's got the ball, gets a shot in on the turn, and then a right-footed effort is ballooned over the bar by João Mario from a good position. Possibly not the player they wanted to get a chance like that in a good position. Samu, though, looking dangerous. It was well defended by Martinez.
Certainly was, yeah. Eustachio it was who made a good run into the box, found Samu, who was facing the wrong way. That is back to goal, but still was able to touch it, turn, hit it. Well blocked from Lisandro Martinez. And the strike eventually from João Mario, well over the top. Again, just like to see United try and get a little tighter in the wider areas. The crosses that are coming into their box, I think they're not people just whipping it in there. They're people that are able to take a touch, pick their head up and try and pick somebody out. I think United got to get out to those players a little quicker.
4 attempts to 1 in Porto's favour, but the one attempt that Manchester United have had has gone in. Marcus Rashford's 7th minute goal. The difference between these two teams. Bradford and Andy Townsend talking you through the action. You're listening to Porto against Manchester United in the Europa League, live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. As Rashford brings the ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Ahmad finding him, curved inside the box, and hooked just wide of his own post by Pedro. He knew that Hoyland was coming in. There's a delicious shape on the in-swinging delivery from Rashford. Such an inviting ball. And Pedro's just waved the right foot at it.
Dangerous.
It's come off the top of his foot, wrong-footed the keeper, and flashed about 3 inches wide.
He looks clumsy to me, Pedro. It's not the first time already in this opening 20-odd minutes, 15 minutes, sorry, that he's looked a little bit cumbersome.
Arguably the biggest game of his life tonight. He only made his European debut a week ago. In comes United's corner, their first. Long ball in towards the far post. De Ligt heading it back, and then it's cleared by Pedro into his nearest teammate. He's caught him on the head and flown over the bar. He could have had 2 own goals in a minute.
He's United's best player at the minute, and as Pedro, he's their centre half, and he's all over the place. Lashing and balls in the box. When you want to clear something in the box, you just get your foot behind it and block it, send it back where it's coming from. He's swishing at things 100 mile an hour, and he's his own team's worst enemy at the minute.
Well, United get another corner. It was so fortunate, the defending there, that it hit at an angle where it went over the bar. In comes the corner from Eriksson. It's punched away by the goalkeeper. Second contact on the edge of the area gets it further clear. Helped back in by Mazraoui. Straight through for the goalkeeper, who punts in immediately upfield. Bruno Fernandes has done really well though. He's covered an awful lot of ground to get back and and make sure that he's first to that long goal kick. He then wins a throw off Galeno, which will be taken on the Manchester United left.
Yeah, did very well there, Bruno. Mazraoui it was who clipped the ball back into the Porto box. Goalie grabbed it, fizzed the kick straight down the middle. Bruno did really well to trap back and make sure he mopped that up and just tidied things.
Bruno, a player back in his homeland, of course, not got a great record by any stretch of the imagination against Porto. He's faced them 10 times in the past and never scored against them. He's been booked against them in each of the last 5 meetings. On the edge of the penalty area, Porto trying to get themselves into a shooting position, can't quite. Eustachio comes back out to find Pepe, now Varela. Varela just dropping it off at the feet of the right back, João Mario. Deeper from him to the panic-stricken Pedro. Exchange of passes between him and Nahuel Perez. His fellow centre-half, and Pedro on halfway. Will just work it down the touchline towards Varela. He's given it away. Dallo will be able to bring it forward. Just tried a little 1-2 that didn't come off with Rashford. And it's out of play for a Porto throw. 18 gone, 1-0 Manchester United lead. Another goal at Ibrox, David Tanner.
And Rangers behind again. It's Rangers 1, Lyon 2, and it was a mistake by Connor Barron playing the ball out in midfield. It was picked up by the teenager who scored the first goal, Malik Fofana, and he fed Alexandre Lacazette, who scored a terrific goal and puts the French back in front. It's Rangers 1, Lyon 2. So
Rangers trail again, 2-1 at home to Lyon. Rangers who won in Malmö last week. Lyon also getting off to a winning start, looking to make it 6 points from 6. Spurs have already done that in the Europa League today with a 2-1 success away to Ferencváros, with goals from Sarr and Brennan Johnson, who scored for a 5th successive game. We were talking about this last night in that extraordinary, enthralling encounter at Villa Park between Aston Villa and Bayern Munich. Exactly what you're going to need in these group stages. We reckon 16 points probably will get you into the top 8 and straight through. Anything between 9 and 16 likely playoff place. So if United can hold on here, they'll have 4 points from the first 2 games,
which isn't a bad return, but a long way to go tonight. They were poor in the second half against Twente, really poor, but it's a good start for them. I'd like to see them again now. Just retain the ball a little further up the field. They're keeping it nicely halfway in their own half, rolling it from side to side between Sandro Martinez and De Ligt, back to Onana now. Can they keep the ball a little higher up the field?
Onana whacking it forward. Eriksen's done well to win the seconds in the midfield, and all of a sudden it's 4 against 4. He's gone to his left. Rashford has it, bringing it down. Flick round the corner, and it's in at the near post again. 2-0. Diogo Costa beaten at the near post for the 2nd time tonight. And it's Rasmus Højlund on the score sheet as he starts his first game of the season. United haven't been particularly convincing in the opening 20 minutes, but they lead away from home in Europe by 2 goals to 0. And this is going to be another stay of execution for Erik ten Hag.
Yeah, brilliant. Look, it doesn't matter the fact that they haven't been unbelievable. They're 2 up. And I'll tell you what, it's really good play again. Christian Eriksen this time winning the ball on the halfway line. He's got 30 yards of space right in front of him. As the blue shirts draw towards him, he clips it out to the left to Marcus Rashford. This time he just rolls it on one more to Rasmus Højlund, who hits it first time from about 8 yards out on the angle. And Diogo Costa again gets his body in the way, gets his hand behind it, but he's not strong enough. It goes down into the floor, actually hits his glove again and ends up crawling over the line. What a great start for United.
It just bounced over the line before being hooked away, but it was clearly in, and Højlund scores his first goal in 11 games for club and country. A run that stretches back to the goal in the end against Brighton on the last day of last season. Had a great European campaign, Rasmus Højlund, last year. 5 goals, you'll remember, in the group stage of the Champions League. And he's off and running in the group stage of this Europa League. Porto 0, Manchester United 2.
Brilliant start for them. Now you want to see them play with a bit of authority, making sure they protect what they have,
As Dalot heads into João Mario inside his own penalty area, but it's rescued by Rashford, and United will deal with it.
Good play, Marcus Rashford, that. Getting back, helping out. Now he's giving it away.
To João Mario, who gets a return ball, pokes it off to the edge of the penalty area, an opportunity for Gonzalez. He's gone back through the midfield towards Varela, and he has turned into trouble. Bruno Fernandes, right in front of the referee, makes sure that he realised the contact had been made. Varela giving the free kick away. It's a free kick to United, and just an opportunity to kill the game a little. As they consolidate this 2-0 lead given to them by Rashford and Højlund. It's Porto against Manchester United in the Europa League, live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. They're 2 goals to the good. There could have been 2 own goals as well. It makes it sound like the most barnstorming, swashbuckling Manchester United away performance. It hasn't quite been that, but as you say, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. What they've done, United, when they have had the chance to travel forward from the halfway line, they've used it well. The first one for Marcus Rashford, in that typical Rashford position when he looks really dangerous, cutting in towards the goal from that left-hand side. And the second one again, when the ball comes to Marcus Rashford, this time cleverly, he just rolled it on in behind that back line for Rasmus Højlund to just still have plenty to do, but he hit the target and he found a way in.
Now Rashford coming forward again inside the penalty area. Flashed in a cross-come shot. Either got a stronger hand to that one, and he's able to get it away. Ahmad then puts the pressure on. Gonzalez has lost it on the edge of his own penalty area. Højlund tried to turn in possession. Loose ball squirted behind him, and Perez is there to clear. Ball goes out for a throw, but before the throw can be taken, Varela might be in need of a little bit of treatment. He's picked up a bang to the mouth just on the edge of the box.
I don't think there's anything wrong with him at all. It's Rasmus Højlund who was backing in, making a nuisance of himself on the edge of the box. Marcus Rashford again, another really positive run. He's giving the right back, João Mario, a bit of a torrid time so far, because every time Rashford's got the ball, particularly 30-40 yards from goal, he's not thinking about rolling it back and dropping it off to somebody else. He's putting his head down and he's getting at him 100 mile an hour. He's backing him into the box, and that's a nightmare for defenders when someone like Rashford's coming at you at full tilt. He's got to keep that going. He's got him absolutely where he wants him right now, that full-back. Keep him there, keep him panicking.
And so United 2 up. Rangers 2-1 down at home. The only other goals so far in the Europa League late kickoffs tonight. Eintracht Frankfurt 2 up away to Besiktas. Everything else is 0-0. Wins earlier today for Spurs, for Hoffenheim, for Lazio, Midtjylland of Denmark, Olympiacos, Malmo, Anderlecht. And Ajax held to a draw away to Slavia Prague. Galatasaray similarly held to a 2-2 draw away to RFS. I'll give you the latest scores in the Conference League very shortly. Suffice to say, at the moment, TNS holding Fiorentina as the ball comes inside the penalty area. The link heads it away. Chelsea live on Talksport 2. Still a goal up, and we'll be checking back in with Hugh in a moment. But Chelsea still leading there by a goal to nil in their match at home again. Corner here to Porto after De Ligt just made sure, with Samu coming in behind him, heads it over his own bar, bearded Dutchman, for a corner which will be taken over on the Porto left-hand side. It's their third corner of the game. 25 minutes in, Manchester United 2 goals to the good, and just before the corner can be taken, the referee spotted something going on inside the 6-yard box, and as soon as he put his whistle to his mouth, Bruno Fernandes bent down and started tying his shoelaces up as if a sign of a guilty man. It's Højlund who's being spoken to, along with Nawen Perez. Now Fernandes just indicating to his teammates something that he's seen that he wants to be amended. It's an in-swinging delivery, not a particularly convincing piece of defending by De Ligt, but they got it away. Ahmad chases after it. Porto getting back to their goalkeeper.
He actually could have got there first there, Ahmad. He just pulled out of that. He saw centre half come flying at him, didn't fancy it. It's a shame that, because I think the ball from Eriksson wasn't a bad one. Had he have got first touch there, he'd have been 50 yards from goal, but with only one player in front of him.
Mustachio finding João Mario. Play back now towards Pedro. João Mario on the right-hand touchline, just clips it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Bounced up and then De Ligt heads it away. And towards the right-hand touchline where Porto will quickly bring it in field. Right back plays it in. Great save, Onana. Pepe on the follow-up. One back for Porto. Well, the quality of the first ball was excellent. Samu with a header that was brilliantly stopped by the diving Onana. But no United player could react quickly enough. And Pepe's diving header turns it over the line from close range. And it's Porto 1, Manchester United 2.
And again, Jim, the reason why, it's another cross and there's not enough pressure on that ball. Rashford lets his man go. João Mario, the fullback, crosses it right into the 6-yard box. It's a flying save from Onana from the first attempt. It's actually come off Mazraoui's head. It would have been an own goal. And little Pepe is quicker and sharper than Lisandro following in and gets his team right back in it. Great stop from the goalie. Where are those red shirts? Why aren't they switching on that little bit quicker when that ball comes in the box? And they've got to stop those crosses. They're coming in too easily.
So Pepe with the goal, his second of the season, a player that scored at Barcelona in the Champions League last year. And his first European goal of this campaign halves the deficit. And it's Porto 1, Manchester United 2. Let's get an update from Stamford Bridge. Here's Talksport's Hugh Woozencroft.
Chelsea 1, Ghent 0. Renato Vega's first goal in Chelsea colours on 12 minutes. Still the difference. They thought they doubled their lead through Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall on 20 minutes. He smashed into the side netting on his weaker right foot from 12 yards out. That the only chance of significance since taking the lead. Still Chelsea 1, Ghent 0.
Dalot, great ball forward from him to Rashford, but Pepe can knock it away. Porto buoyed by the fact that they've been able to halve the deficit. And just look at a little bit sharper again. The referee has given a free kick against them in the midfield. Dalot just with a little push on Pepe. Might be the infringement that the referee spotted, and it is a free kick that Porto will take. Just coming up to the half-hour mark, and Manchester United 2-1 up.
Yeah, look, Marcus Rashford, as I mentioned, been really dangerous when he's had the ball at his feet in the Porto half of the field. But when they're defending, there's two sides to this game, and he knows that. He's back in a decent position, and then he switches off and allows the right back to drift into a position and unopposed whips a ball right into the 6-yard box. And they don't deal with it, and it ends up in the back of the net. So there's a timely reminder for Rashford. As good as he can be going forward, there's another side he's got to do. That's better. Just put a good block, good challenge in, higher up the field. But don't sleep, don't knock off when you're defending.
In the Conference League, elsewhere, Lask lead Djurgården 1-0, Copenhagen a goal up, Chelsea, as we heard from Hugh, leading 1-0, Panathinaikos are a goal up away from home, Petra Cub are beating Paphos 1-0, Shamrock Rovers still holding Apoel 0-0 in Ireland. Casemiro just loses out in the midfield. The referee's played the advantage. Ball is worked wide towards João Mario. Right-footed ball in from him. Headed away at the far post by Mazraoui. It was into an awkward area. Onana thought about coming out for it and then very quickly dropped back. The sense that he wasn't going to get there. And the referee then gives a free kick against Samu, whose reaction, bouncing the ball into the ground in dismay after the free kick was given against him, is going to see him cautioned. So Samu will go in the book. Porto 1, Manchester United 2. I mentioned that the New Saints are doing well away to Fiorentina. Let's find out how well. Here's Talksport's Jeff Peters.
Well, they've managed to go 31 minutes. It's Fiorentina 0, TNS 0. They had an early opportunity, the Welsh side, through Rory Holden. Connor Roberts has made two very good saves. One outstanding one from Christian Kouame to keep the ball out of the back of the net. It is mainly all Fiorentina, but TNS are holding their own. It's 0-0, Jim.
Jeff, thank you. As soon as anything happens to the Artemio Frankie, you'll hear about it here on Talksport. A reminder, Chelsea leading Ghent 1-0. It's live for you right now over on Talksport 2. Also a reminder that Trans-Europe Express returns on Sunday from 9. Danny Kelly and Andy Brassel dissecting all of the key talking points from this week's Champions League, Europa League and Conference League games, and as well as that, the latest episode of the Trans Euro Express podcast, available right now. It's such a good listen. You've never heard it. So many people within the game will take that on when it comes out on a Monday morning. I know it's essential listening for them. You can listen to it on the Talksport app and via your favourite podcast platforms.
Bruno's in trouble here again.
Yellow card shown to him for a clash on the edge of the Porto penalty area.
Yeah, this time it was a throw-in off the right side. It was thrown square to a midfield player who took a touch on his chest, and then he's got to knock it down, and Bruno, as that's coming off his chest and dropping down onto his foot, Bruno's coming with his foot high. He might well have got a bit of the ball, in all fairness, but he knows on a night like this, away from home in Europe, that sort of challenge, they won't stomach it, they won't stand for it, and he's gone in the book, he's got a yellow card for that particular challenge. Now, be very, very cautious, be sensible.
So a yellow card for Bruno, of course had his red card the weekend rescinded. Another Porto player, Samu, has gone down injured. Play goes on. Porto forced to go back inside their own half, but will bring it forward here with Perez. Something on nothing ball to the left-hand side of the midfield for Varela, but he's done well to make something of it. Now he plays it forward. It came to De Ligt at Yorker length. First contact from him goes high up in the air. Porto then clip it forward out towards the right-hand side, where the fullback João Mario makes his way forward. Three Porto players attacking the same ball. The break inside the penalty area for Gonzalez. Good ball in, and the diving header makes it 2-2. United have blown a 2-0 lead. It's Samu. 2 in 5 minutes. United simply unable to deal with high ball coming inside their own penalty area. And Samu wanted it more. Fires a header in, and it's 2 apiece.
He is seriously pumped up, the Porto centre forward. He got a yellow card just now for knocking Ahmad to the floor, but he's been screaming out for delivery into the box. Once more, it is a cross down that right side. The first cross comes in, United deal with it. It eventually comes back out again. Another cross unopposed, right into the 6-yard box. And there this time is Samu, gets across the front of De Ligt, puts his head on it, and it flies into the roof of the net. But United have been warned not once, not twice, about 4 or 5 times already in this first half, that they have got to get out closer and stop that delivery. If you're not going to run out there and close it down, you're better off staying in numbers in the box and let it come in and deal with it. But Marcus Rashford off that right side, he knows he's got to do more to stop that delivery.
Well, Dalot might have got his head to the first ball that came in. De Ligt will be furious that the way that he defended that, and Erik ten Hag will be furious with it as well. There's a yellow card shown to Ruud van Nistelrooy on the Manchester United bench, who sits down and exhales. Well, United in such a strong position. 15 minutes ago, they just scored their second, 2-0 up and coasting. Now it's 2-2. The whole momentum has changed.
Yeah, it has. And again, I'll give Porto credit from being 2 down. They've kept pouring forward and playing at a serious tempo. United have been a little casual defensively, and they've been punished.
Bruno Fernandes plays it now toward the Manchester United right-hand side here for Ahmad. Ahmad cutting inside the area, and he hits a low left-footed shot that has deflected away off Perez. That goes out of play for a corner, which will be taken over on the United right-hand side.
There's still more in this for United. There will be more chances, more opportunities for them to score. That Porto back four, particularly the fullbacks, are so intent on pushing forward. They're leaving the 2 centre-halves a little exposed, and they don't look like they can absolutely handle it. So they've got to keep believing in themselves, United, but they must do more defensively. Be better without it.
Eriksson takes the corner. De Ligt the target in the far post. First contact, 1, knocked away. And then Bruno Fernandes has done well to fashion a ball with the outside of the right boot back for Eriksson. Eriksson trying to take on Galeno. Lays it back instead for Bruno. Good ball in from him.
What a ball.
Sliding in the far post. Martinez couldn't get the touch he wanted. United keep it alive. Work it back for Bruno. But they've done so from an offside position. And it's a free kick to Porto inside their own box.
What a ball that was from Bruno Fernandes. It was down the right-hand side. Christian Eriksen rolled it back to Bruno, who whipped it first time with so much pace on it. There was Lisandro Martinez and De Ligt at the far post, but came in with such pace they just couldn't get there.
It was a beautiful delivery because it faded really, really quickly. Just couldn't quite make the most of the opportunity. 2-2 the scoreline on Talksport. Listen to Porto against Manchester United in the Europa League. Our coverage brought to you with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes, so if you've got a plan, we've got a van. Rashford on 7, Højlund on 20. So far so good for United, but then Pepe on 28, Samu on 34. And it's game on again, 2 apiece with 7.5 minutes to go to half-time here on Talksport. Manchester United bring the ball forward towards halfway. And it's played down to Marcus Rashford. Rashford back for Sandro Martinez. Martinez to De Ligt. Controlling the ball with his right foot, playing it with his left to Bruno, who's just dropped in alongside the centre-halves for a moment with United in possession. Martinez happy just to try and slow things down. And there's no hint of a press coming really from Porto as Martinez brings it forward. When he gets to within about 5-10 yards of halfway, Pepe engages. Then a poor ball from De Ligt knocking it forward will break out towards the Porto left. An opportunity for them to try and get the bodies forward quickly again. It's Gonzalez laying it back for Varela. 15 yards outside the penalty area. Porto looking to completely overturn this 2-0 deficit and take the lead for the first time of the game. Francisco Moura getting the ball inside the box. Sails over everybody's head. Will be kept in though on the right flank by João Mario. And the right back lays it back to Zé Pedro. Good ball in from him. Well headed away by Mazraoui. Then knocked on by Rashford. Brought down on the left-hand side by Højlund. Højlund passed the first challenge. Now he will motor forward. Not too much in the way of support, but he comes towards the edge of the penalty area. Rolls it in. It's a good ball for Ahmad. Just rolled a little bit too far ahead of him. Ahmad pulling it back for Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro trying his luck. Right-footed effort that was lacking any potency. And it clipped off Eustachio and is clear.
See the way there, Jim. Rasmus Højlund got the ball in his own half with Zé Pedro behind him and just rolled him and sprinted away from him, and then produced a really nice ball right across the front of the 6-yard box. Ahmad at the far post, just a yard away from making contact. That was really nice play, that.
Sandro Martinez. Now down towards Marcus Rashford again. Rashford back for Lisandro. Manchester United go to Fenerbahce next in this competition. Then they've got a couple of home games. Pauk, followed by Bodo Glimt, who were the Norwegian side that beat Porto a week ago. Victoria Plzen away, Rangers at home, and the club formerly known as Steaua Bucharest away. It's the Europa League campaign for Manchester United. Top 8 go through, the next 16 in the playoffs, everybody below that eliminated. Play forward by Mazraoui, boot raised, and then the referee cops one from Eustachio, who fired it into him from close range. Porto maintain possession with Varela, and he'll just siphon it off to his right-hand side for João Mario.
So in a situation like this, Porto got the ball on the halfway line. Every United player back in their own half. Once that ball starts to go wide, once you sense they're going to whip something into the box, people have got to get out there and stop that cross coming in. There's no point in sitting behind the ball with 11 men thinking you're safe, telling you you're not. You've got to work when you get behind the ball. You've got to close people down, prevent them from getting their heads up, picking their passes, doing what they want to do. United haven't done that. It's the worst side of their game in this first period. They've been dangerous going forward, but they've got to work harder when they haven't got it.
Another poor defensive header, that one from Mazraoui. Dallo had to rescue a fight ball on the edge of his own penalty area. Ahmad then tries to bring it forward as though he was tripped.
Well played, Ahmad.
He's won the free kick. Francisco Moura escapes a yellow card. United taking the free kick quickly and intelligently. Down through the midfield for Bruno Fernandes to Rashford. Cutting back inside the penalty area. Laying it off for Bruno. Right foot is clipped it in. Heads go up for it. Højlund trying to bring it out. Casemiro in there. Hits the goalkeeper from close range and wins the corner.
Unlucky. Lovely break there from United again. Down the left side with Marcus Rashford. Instead of crossing it, he comes back to Bruno Fernandes, who just stands a very clever little ball up, floating towards the edge of the 6-yard box on the far side. Casemiro and Rasmus Højlund are right there, but they scramble it away, but it's a corner for United.
Looking to regain their advantage. 2-2 the score. Sandro Martinez inside the penalty area. Højlund telling the referee to watch for the pulling and grappling that's going on inside the penalty area on him. Corner's taken short. Bruno gets it in, it's cleared. Rashford wins it back, plays it back for Eriksen. Eriksen to Mazraoui. Mazraoui out towards the right-hand side of the midfield for Bruno. It's a higher, longer ball in from him. Volleyed in to the penalty area by Lisandro Martinez, but that's cleared as well. And then Eriksen outsides Pepe. The motion that he was going to go and kick the ball, didn't. And allows it to run out of play for a throw. It's United take. And Martinez with the ball at his feet. Takes on one too many. Still finds Højlund. Højlund trying to flick the ball with the studs of his right boot. Drag it back past one of his opponents. Couldn't quite get that right. And United will have to mop up then in their own left-back position after Porto whacked it forward upfield. Yeah. Goes back to Onana. There's a player down injured, so Onana puts it out of play, and Lisandro will receive whatever treatment he needs. Yeah,
he tried to run with the ball there through a tight little gap, Lisandro. I think he gets winded. It's Nico Gonzalez who comes running across. A big guy, Nico Gonzalez, comes running across and sort of clatters into Martinez and just, I think, knocks the wind out of his sails. I'm sure he'll be all right.
Well, Gonzalez, the guilty party. Lisandro Martinez continues to receive treatment. Let's go back to Ibrox. Here's David Tanner.
A minute to go until half-time, Jim. It's still Rangers 1, Lyon 2. A terrific game of football, this one. Lyon could have been further ahead when the teenager who scored the opening goal, Marek Fofana, had a terrific run and shot that was palmed away by Jack Butland. Watched by Rangers fan Sir Alex Ferguson. It's Rangers 1, Lyon 2.
And to Florence, Jeff Peters.
Well, TNS are still hanging on. It's 0-0 here against Fiorentina, but the Italians have come desperately close. Fabiano Parisi, edge of the penalty area, right-footed, went beyond Connor Roberts and hit the outside of the woodwork. It is approaching the break. Fiorentina 0, TNS 0.
Martinez still receiving treatment. We'll go to Stamford Bridge. Hugh.
Chelsea 1, Ghent 0. Renato Vega's header on 12 minutes, the difference. But Chelsea have just begun to play for themselves a little bit and lost that system of Enzo Maresca that made them so dominant in the early phases. There have been a couple of chances for Ghent. Nothing too clear-cut. Archie Brown with a miss-hit shot under pressure from Badiashile, and Gudjonsson has flashed over the crossbar. Ghent coming back into it. Still Chelsea on top. Chelsea 1, Ghent 0.
Lisandro is okay and comes back onto the field having received his treatment. Just about to go into stoppage time. A significant goal elsewhere in the Europa League, with Roma losing in Barros against Elfsborg by a goal to 0. 1-0 Elfsborg leading there. Just about to go into first half stoppage time. Eriksen losing out in the midfield. 3 additional minutes to be played. Chipped over the top here. Renata's going to have to come out quickly. He can. Good hands, good quick hands, taking the ball off the head of Galeno, who was coming in. And another goal at Ibrox. David Tanner.
And in first half stoppage time, it's Rangers 1, Lyon 3. A second goal on the night for Alexandre Lacazette, and it was a terrific finish too. Rangers have had so many chances, but Lyon have been clinical. It's Rangers 1, Lyon 3.
So Lyon leading 3-1 there. Is Dalot, plays the ball through the midfield. 4 goals in the first half of this one as well, evenly split. Bruno Fernandes comes to the edge of the box, motion to cross and then drags it back. Ahmad to Dalot, shooting position, right-footed curler, got the angle but not the height, and it flew over the bar. Out of play for a goal kick.
Unlucky. Nothing wrong with Diogo Dalot trying his luck there. He's about 21, 22 yards out. Comes to him on his right foot, takes a touch to settle it, then tries to whip it. It's always just a little too high. But look, lots of positives for United. Nice and fast on the counter with a real cutting edge, really dangerous. But they've got to deny Porto better than they have. They've got to send them backwards, send them across the field, do whatever they've got to do. But They need to have a little chat, make sure that they understand, stop those crosses coming into your box. If you stop the source, then you're cutting out half the problem.
Well, 90 seconds to go to half-time. Manchester United 2 up, if you're just joining us, inside 20 minutes. The goalkeeper probably should have saved both of them. But beaten at his near post by Rashford and Højlund. It's not a stereotypical no goalkeeper should be beaten at his near post, but he shouldn't have been beaten at his near post on either of those occasions. He got a foot to one and a hand to the other. It will be very disappointing he couldn't keep them out. Pepe and Samu getting it back to 2-2 with headers as Rashford makes his way forward inside the penalty area and still goes. A right-footed effort though through a forest of legs was dealt with, and the rebound is cleared.
Unlucky. Great run from Marcus Rashford again. He gets into the box on that right foot. This time he runs right the way across beyond the penalty spot, almost beyond the far post before trying to cut it back. Brilliant run from him. I mean, he's given them so many problems down the Porto right United's left. Rashford, he's been the biggest outlet for United. Every time he's got the ball and run with it, you feel like, Jim, something's going to happen.
He's had an outstanding night in possession. Marcus Rashford, 2-2 with seconds remaining in this first half. Fernandes knocking it forward. It's cleared by Pedro. And a shaky start of the game. Ball goes through towards Onana, and that's the last action of a first half, which has been the archetypal topsy-turvy affair, really. A little bit like Erik ten Hag's Manchester United managerial career so far. Good in parts. 2-0 up, but pegged back with goals from Pepe and Samu. All to play for in the second period at the Dragao. Porto 2, Manchester United 2.
Well, at times you're lost for words watching Manchester United. They didn't really play well. They managed to give themselves a 2-goal lead away in Europe. You'd hope that would have given them the confidence to take hold of the game, but no, just second best in defence, allowing the opposition back into it. And frankly, it's become a basketball match at this point. Something's wrong, very wrong, in the makeup, the fabric of what we see from Manchester United week in and week out. Even if they go on to win tonight, those frailties have once again been laid bare. And you have to ask, what is going on with Erik ten Hag and his future? Andy Townsend, what do you make of the first 45 minutes in Porto?
Well, look, with the ball, United look very dangerous. I mean, Rashford has been... His pace and running and his ability running with the ball at his feet has been sensational. I mean, he's really got out João Mario, the right back for Porto, frightened the life out of him. But two sides to the game. When Porto, and they're brave, they're committing lots of people forward. When they do, United are getting back in numbers, but they're not working out to the ball, Hugh. They're not stopping crosses, they're not getting in people's faces. They're not sending them backwards, sending them across the field. Getting close enough, allowing them to cross things in the box. If you do that, you're asking for trouble, and that's what's happened. So from United's point of view, lots to be enthused about, but they got to tighten up. They got to be far, far better when they haven't got the ball at their feet.
2 goals in front. They came from Rashford and Rasmus Højlund. Diogo Costa in the Porto goal will be very disappointed though with both of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, the goalie, he's thrown to him. I mean, honestly, he's hopeless efforts, I think, for the first Rashford one. Great run from Marcus Rashford, but goalkeeping was really average. And the second one, Højlund hits it hard towards his near post. You need stronger hands than that, not like what Diogo Costa showed. So, no, look, I think, again, at half-time, I'm sure it will be keep playing, creating your chances. You're going to get them, but when we lose the ball, guys, we've got to make sure that we've got a better understanding of how to stop them from hurting us.
They'll be disappointed with how they defended, though, for both of the goals from Samu and from Pepe before that.
Yeah, they will be, because they're simple crosses. Marcus Rashford switched off and allowed the right back, João Mario, to venture forward, and he's got all the time to take a touch, whips a dangerous ball in. Mazraoui actually does well to try and head it away, almost knocks it in his own net. Onana gets a good hand to it, and Pepe knocks it in. Then they're back in the game. That breathed a bit of life back into Porto, and then from there, fair play to them, give them credit. They're going to keep pouring men forward. They've done that, and they've turned a 2-0 deficit round.
Andy Townsend, thank you very much. There's a big 45 minutes on the way for Manchester United and for the future of Erik ten Hag. They have given away a 2-goal lead at the break. Porto 2, Manchester United 2. It's half-time here at Chelsea as well. At Chelsea leading Ghent by 1-0. Renato Vega's header on 12 minutes, his first for the club. They've had 72% possession, 8 shots, only 1 on target. That was the goal. They do need to improve just to make sure they see this game through to victory. Obviously, very dominant indeed, but allowing Ghent to come back into the game in the closing stages of that first half. At half-time at Ibrox, Rangers taking on Lyon. Talksport's David Tanner.
It's Rangers 1, Lyon 3. The first half has been terrific entertainment. Rangers have created chances, but their finishing has been poor. Lyon's has been clinical. By the time Lyon opened the scoring, Rangers should have been ahead. Tavernier hit a shot at the goalkeeper Lucas Perry's legs, and Václav Černý fired over from 6 yards out when the keeper was off balance and vulnerable. He really should have burst the net, but the French took the lead in 10 minutes when teenager Malik Fofana crashed the ball past Jack Butland to make it 1-0. 4 minutes later, Tom Lawrence scored his 4th goal of the season to equalise for Rangers. But then 5 minutes after that, it was Alexandre Lacazette, the former Arsenal man, who got the first of his 2 goals. His second came in first half stoppage time. Rangers booed off by their fans at half time, but it's not as much as they booed the referee off. It's Rangers 1, Lyon 3 at the break.
Fiorentina taking on the New Saints in the Conference League tonight. Watching for Talksport is Jeff Peters.
It's Fiorentina 0, TNS 0. Outstanding effort from Craig Harrison's side, the first domestic Welsh League club to get past qualifying rounds in UEFA competition. They're away at the team who have been runners-up in the Conference League in successive seasons. They almost caught the Italians cold in the opening minute. Adam Wilson set up Rory Holden, but his effort was blocked. That's the only shot they've managed. No surprise they had to soak up a lot of pressure. Only 25% possession. Connor Roberts in goal has been busy. A stunning fingertip save to keep out Ivory Coast international Christian Kouame. He also denied Beltran and Sothil. Jonathan Akone should have scored, were well positioned, but badly scuffed his effort. And then just before the break, Rolando Mandragora beat Roberts from the edge of the box, but it clipped the post and went wide. Moreno, the inexperienced Argentine centre-back for the home side, certainly looks vulnerable, and maybe TNS can exploit that. The boys from Oswestry are holding the Serie A giants in Florence. It's Fiorentina 0, TNS 0 at half-time.
A little bit earlier on, Spurs made it 2 wins from 2 in the Europa League. They beat Ferencváros 2-1 with Brennan Johnson scoring for the 5th straight game. And in the Conference League, Jan Danda scored a 94th minute winner as Hearts beat Dinamo Minsk. 10-men Larn lost 3-0 to Molde on their European debut. Let's get the halftime odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5 Plus acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds of 3-1 or greater. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Well, Porto have already come from 2 down. For them to complete the comeback, win the game, is 7-4. Manchester United to go ahead again and hold on 21-10. The draw is 13-8. Those are the latest odds with Ladbrokes. It's 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
You're listening to the Europa League live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Rent from the best lineup in the UK. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs. Manchester United tonight were 2 goals up. They've given away their lead. Can they come back and get a much-needed victory for their manager Erik ten Hag at the break? Porto 2, Manchester United 2 on Talksport.
Kick-off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5 Plus acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds of 3-1 or greater. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Idris Elba here. Being an actor, I find it pretty easy to switch. 1 minute I'm an impulsive detective. Next, a watchman of the gods. Then, a ferocious tiger. But nothing is easier than switching your broadband to Sky Full Fibre.
And you can chat to someone anytime, day or night, which comes in handy for DJ Idris.
Here comes advertising, Idris. Get Sky Full Fibre 300 for our lowest ever price, just £29 a month with no setup fees. Sky. Believe in better.
Price may change during 24-month term. £43 a month after. Ends 23rd of October. Average download 300 megabits per second. Speeds vary. Terms apply.
Right now, you could win over £22 million.
Get ready for the golden era in online casino. BetMGM. It's showtime.
Minimum 10p game stake. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
The Big Wicks event is now on. From tiles to flooring, doors, kitchens, bathrooms and more. We have everything you need to help you start your next home improvement project. Shop the Big Wicks event in-store and online now.
At Majestic, we've partnered with Perfect Draft to bring you pub-perfect pints at home. Choose a 6-litre keg from Stella, Left, Corona, Camden Hells or Pale Ale from £30 each. That's only £2.85 a pint. And once you've rolled out the barrel, just roll it right back to our stores and we'll recycle it for you. Plus, for each keg returned, we'll give you a £5 off your next purchase. Majestic and Perfect Draft. Partners in perfect pints. Visit us or shop online at majestic.co.uk. Selected stores 18 plus, T's and C's apply.
Put yourself at the heart of the action with Betfred's Bet Builder. With our new Bet Builder Bundles feature, you can combine multiple bet builders across different matches into one accumulator. Unbelievable! Choose one of our pre-selected bundles in shops or create your own. Betfred's Bet Builder Bundles. Love football, Betfred. Selected matches and in shops only, 90 minutes only. Maximum stakes apply. Markets made available at Betfred's discretion. T's and C's apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Get an expert guide to all the latest speculations, signings and spending sprees with Simon Jordan's Football Business Roundup on Talksport with Tesco Mobile for Business. From the latest deals worth knowing to where the big money transfers are going. Get the inside track in one all-covering football finance feature. Simon Jordan's Football Business Roundup on Talksport with Tesco Mobile for Business. Join Tesco Mobile and get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. Tesco Mobile. Every little helps. For applicable terms and verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
Europa League live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day.
Passion, heartbreak, glory, despair, triumph.
And they're back in the game!
Europa League live.
What a finish!
On Talksport.
Well, not for the first time, it's a week that's billed as decisive in the working life of Erik ten Hag. Villa to come, Porto tonight, plenty on the line. A bad week here, and there might not be a chance to have another good week. Rashford making his way forward now towards the edge of the penalty area. He's in the box, he's on his right foot. Oh, he squeezed it in past Diogo Costa. Manchester United starting slowly but scoring first, bringing it down. Flick round the corner and it's in at the near post again. 2-0. Diogo Costa beaten at the near post for the second time tonight. Right back plays it in. Great save of Lana. Pepe on the follow-up. One back for Porto. Porto players attacking the same ball. The break inside the penalty area for Gonzalez. Good ball in and the diving header makes it 2-2. United have blown a 2-0 lead. It's Samu. 2 in 5 minutes. The archetypal topsy-turvy affair, really. A little bit like Erik ten Hag's Manchester United managerial career so far. Good in parts. 2-0 up, but pegged back with goals from Pepe and Samu. All to play for in the second period at the Dragao. Porto 2, Manchester United 2.
Well, will it be another European nightmare for Erik ten Hag and Manchester United away from home? Their last 3 games in Europe, they have failed to win, while scoring 3 times in each of those games. Remember, they have won just once in their last 9 European games under Ten Hag. If he doesn't win tonight, the pressure will build. You'll have your say tonight on Talksport with the Sports Bar from 10 p.m. 03717 223344 is the number to call, and I'm sure plenty of you already have an opinion on that first half. Let's see if Manchester United can at least get the victory. The second 45 minutes are on the way here on Talksport. This game, by the way, brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. Just to bring you up to date with all of the half-time scores across the continent tonight. Goalless between Athletic Bilbao and AZ Alkmaar. Besiktas 0, Eintracht Frankfurt 2. Elfsborg lead Roma by a 1-0. A little bit of a surprise there. FC Twente a goal up on Fenerbahce. PAOK of Thessaloniki trailing by FC SB, formerly Stoa Bucharest, by a 1-0. Obviously Rangers trailing Lyon 3-1. Union Saint-Gilloise and Bodo Glimt goalless, as is Victoria Pilsen against Ludogorets. In the Conference League, Borac Bancha trail Panathinaikos by a 1-0. Chelsea a goal up on Ghent. CS Petra Club 1, Paphos 2, Copenhagen 1, Bialystok 0. It's Fiorentina and TNS goalless. Lask lead Djurgårdens by a 1-0. Lugano 1, HJK of Helsinki 0, and Shamrock Rovers and Apoel Nicosia goalless as well. And just to let you know, a couple of games tonight in the Women's League Cup has finished. Sheffield United 1, Sunderland 2, Southampton 0, London City Lionesses 1. And the NFL makes its long-awaited return to London this weekend. Talksport 2 brings you all 3 London games over the next few weeks. Starting this Sunday, exclusive commentary of the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers taking on the undefeated Minnesota Vikings at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We'll bring you all the build-up from 1:30 p.m. on Sunday ahead of kickoff on Talksport 2 with the former Pittsburgh Steelers tight end Christian Scott Williamson, part of our commentary team for that one. You can also see the team if you head to our Talksport End Zone YouTube channel on Sunday. They'll host a live watch-along from the stadium. Plenty of extra content there as well. New York Jets, Minnesota Vikings, Talksport 2, Sunday afternoon, 1:30. Hopefully you got the message there. And you can also listen to Talksport 2 on your DAB via the Talksport app. You can simply ask your smart speaker to play Talksport 2 as well. Remember, lots of big football coming up in the next couple of days. Tomorrow night, live and exclusive EFL action on Talksport as Sunderland host Leeds, an 8 p.m. kickoff for that one. Our Saturday exclusive Premier League action sees Liverpool go to Crystal Palace. Over on Talksport 2 at 12:30, it's Burnley against Preston, a Lancashire derby in the Championship, and Arsenal will face Southampton at 3 p.m. also on Talksport 2. The players making their way back out onto the pitch here at Stamford Bridge, as they are at the Estadio do Dragão. If it was 2 games to save your job for Erik ten Hag, he hasn't yet impressed the bosses at Manchester United. I'll leave you with your commentary team on Talksport. Porto 2, Manchester United 2, the former Republic of Ireland captain Andy Townsend and Jim Proudfoot.
Well, Alejandro Garnacho was warming up, Hugh, in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the half-time interval, and it looks as though he is going to be coming on. Andy and I were speculating that it may well be for Ahmad, who had done very little in the opening 45 minutes, but Ahmad has reappeared. We haven't seen Marcus Rashford.
No, we haven't, Jim, not yet. I mean, look, I've got to tell you, that's a huge call. Whether Marcus has got an issue, whether he's got a problem, look, yeah, he was sleeping, no doubt, defensively when Porto got back in the game. But he's been United's most dangerous player, most productive player in attack. So it's going to be a huge, huge call if he's coming off. If it's for tactical reasons. If he's injured, obviously fine. It is indeed Marcus Rashford. Confirmation of that change now for Garnacho.
So Garnacho for Rashford at half-time for Manchester United. There's so much to like about Rashford in possession, so much to frustrate Erik ten Hag about him out of possession. We saw an analysis run from almost every conceivable angle of the first Porto goal. Andy, what did it show you?
It just showed him switching off and just allowing the fullback to have the ball, pick his head up, cross it, totally unopposed. And that isn't good enough. It isn't acceptable. I'd like to see Casemiro or Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes run out to him and tell him a little bit if he's not doing it. He won't then do it again. The second goal coming off that right side. Look, we're speculating. We don't know exactly what's happened. There's no doubt Marcus Rashford with a ball at his feet running forward tonight has looked very, very dangerous. It's a big call from Ten Hag if he's got the hump with him because of the goals they conceded. Massive call.
So Marcus Rashford off. Scored the first goal of the night. Garnacho on to replace him. We're back underway. United red shirts, white shorts, kicking from left to right. And in possession around the edge of the Porto penalty area. It's work by Casemiro. Back for Mazraoui. And back out of the left flank again for Christian Eriksen. United lining up then. Nana in goal. Mazraoui, De Ligt, Martinez, Dalot, Eriksen and Casemiro. Ahmad, Bruno Fernandes and Garnacho. And Højlund up front. Rashford scoring on 7 minutes, Højlund on 20. United leading 2-0 at that stage. Pepe and Samu scoring 2 in the space of 5.5 minutes to get it back to 2-2. Here's Garnacho. First opportunity for him to shine for Manchester United tonight. Working it infield to Casemiro. Backhand towards Garnacho again. And he'll open up the angle. Right-footed effort. That's blocked just on the edge of the penalty area by Varela. And João Mario can clear. Another goal early in the second half at Stamford Bridge for Hugh Woodcroft.
Game over, Chelsea 2, Ghent 0, and it's Pedro Neto, his second goal for the club after his summer move from Wolves. And it was a hopeful long ball almost from the kick-off. Lands in the box, not dealt with by the Ghent defence, drops on his right foot and he smashes into the roof of the net. Really well taken goal, and you'd have to say it's all Chelsea from this point on. Chelsea 2, Ghent 0.
And Porto should be 3-2 up. A quick counter-attack. Francisco Moura coming forward from left back. And he hit a left-footed shot from about 12 yards out. Anada got a left hand to it, flicked it under his right thigh and just past the post. It was an unconventional save. He rode his luck. It's still 2-2.
Yep, fast ball. Sorry, a high ball knocked up to Samu, the centre forward. Very quickly changes direction out onto the flanks and they're almost punished.
In comes the corner from Varela. It's headed away by Bruno Fernandes. It comes outside the penalty area and United will be able to push the defensive line out. Back in from Moura again. That one is also clear.
That shouldn't happen, Jim, what we just saw, that counter from Porto. There's no way that should happen. They've cleared the ball from their own box to their centre forward, who's chested it down, knocked it back, and Ahmad must have been sleeping this time off the other flank to allow Francisco Moura forward. He had one-on-one with Onana. Goalkeeper does really well to deny him.
Porto in possession. Eustachio. It's played behind square towards halfway. Manchester United will push forward, but there's no real intensity in the press. Ahmad just allowing Nico Gonzalez the opportunity to play it back towards his centre-half Perez. Now helped forward by the right-back João Mario. Down towards the flank. Pepe can't keep it in. Goes out of play for a Manchester United throw. This game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. It's 2-2.
It is indeed. It's 2-2. Could well be 3-2 to Porto. United got away with that. Got to improve that side of their game. That is absolutely lies at the responsibility of Ten Hag and his staff. The ability to switch on, sense danger, close down, know how to close down, know how to force people backwards, slow them up, foul them if you have to, take a yellow card maybe if it's the right time to take one. All of those little things you should be able to get better at. United don't do that very well. They, for all their good aspects in their game, it's undone by naivety with the way that they defend when they lose the ball.
Come back to that point in a moment, Andy, but there's been another goal at Stamford Bridge. Hugh?
It's Chelsea 2, Ghent 1, totally against the run of play. Centre-back Tsuyoshi Watanabe heading in, unmarked to the back post. It was a corner that came in, wasn't dealt with by the Chelsea defence. They've been punished. Chelsea 2, Ghent 1.
And it's Porto 3, Manchester United 2 at the Dragao. And United's 2-0 lead has evaporated and they're now behind. It's Samu again. Another lightning quick break down the right-hand side. Pepe playing it in for Samu, who lashes it into the roof of the net at the near post. It's all too easy. It's Mazraoui playing him onside. And Pepe then had the run on Lisandro Martinez. Samu just dropped off a yard. That found him some space as he darted in. They're ahead of De Ligt. Fires it into the roof of the net. And United's ignominy is complete. Porto 2 down. Now lead 3-2.
Yeah, great goal from a Porto point of view. Let's give them credit. 2 down to 3-2 up. That takes some doing. They've been really brave the way they've attacked, and little Pepe's always been a danger tonight. And Samu, this big powerful centre forward, well, he's been a beast. They've not been able to handle him at all tonight, United. And he's got another goal, and it's a really well taken one. Again, United didn't sense the danger quick enough, slow to react, got turned round and have got punished. Incredible where this game has gone.
Porto 3, Manchester United 2, 7 in 6 now for Samu. after his €15 million move from Atletico Madrid.
Well, he's a handful, Jim, isn't he?
He's 20.
He's a handful.
He's 6'4", but he's so physically robust.
Yeah.
And he is a magnificent striker. Ball in at the other end. Bruno Fernandes looking for that. Now comes Diogo Costa. And he's able to pounce on it. Porto 3, United 2.
Unlucky, Diogo Dalot, good run from him.
And now Porto will bring it forward quickly again. That one's just going to go out of play, has it? No, it hasn't. And it does now. Initially, as the ball was played down the touchline, it looked as though Mora was not going to be able to keep it in. As he chased back. United all over the place defensively. And just going back to that point that you were making about players should have the wherewithal to know really exactly how to address certain situations in the game, or when there should be tactical fouls, and when they should press and when they shouldn't. So is that down to the players themselves? Is that down to instruction from the coaches? When you look at this United side, how many international caps they got between them, surely that really should be innate.
Of course it should. Let's just see what happens here, Jim. Garnacho down the left side.
He's level with the edge of the Porto penalty areas. United look for an equaliser. Play back towards Casemiro. Casemiro towards Ahmad. Ahmad just backtracks away from the edge of the penalty area. Works it in for Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes! Across the face of goal. No one can get a touch and it goes out for a goal kick.
Lucky. Got himself in a good position there. Bruno Fernandes in the box. Receives it with his back to play, but clever little turn round the corner. Rattles a fast strike across the 6-yard box. It's always missing the far post, but he claims there was a little touch on it. Referee not having it.
So 3-2 Manchester United trail. Porto had a great comeback in the Portuguese Super Cup earlier this season, but 3 down in that game against Sporting and came back to win 4-3, and they've turned a 2-0 deficit into a 3-2 advantage here. But it's clearly what the ramifications will be for Erik ten Hag. Another day where Manchester United have let in 3 goals. They could lose. If they were to lose this, it would be the 4th defeat that they've had in the first 10 games this season. That will have happened in every season under ten Hag, that they will have lost 4 of the first 10. They had, before he took over, they hadn't lost 4 of their first 10 since 1989.
Well, look, still got plenty of time. Probably the nuts and bolts of 40 minutes to try and get back into this game against a team that have given them plenty of encouragement. They're not the greatest Porto defensively themselves. What they are is really direct and fast when they're attacking, and they're good. They're good like that. But United, certainly with Rashford on the field, were creating them all sorts of problems defensively. So they've got to believe they can still create again. Haven't got to rush, haven't got to panic, haven't got to start launching anything forward. Keep playing their football and wait for that right moment.
Shamrock Rovers a goal down at home to Apoel Nicosia. And so 1-0 to the Cypriots in Ireland. United trailing on the odd goal in 5 in Portugal. Good ball by Garnacho. Eriksson! Hoyland was waiting. Eriksson couldn't squeeze the cross past the keeper or get the angle right for a pullback for Bruno Fernandes, who was arriving at pace.
It's the second time in the space of 2 minutes that United, with a couple of passes, have got in behind Porto's back line. Christian Eriksen almost on the byline, looking for a cutback. Bruno was there, tries to find Hoyland at the far post. Goalkeeper picks it off.
So just to sum up that discussion we were having a couple of minutes ago, it's down to the manager rather than the players.
Well, certainly experienced players. You know, the manager has to trust experienced players that they can control the game like that. But this Ten Hag Man United side, they don't control games. They don't seemingly know how to. When they're good, when they're in the moment, they're very dangerous. But they always, at any given time, look vulnerable.
Nakaleno has made a run down the left-hand side, and he was muscled out of it by Mazraoui. The referee decided it was a fair challenge, and United will get it forward again. Bruno Fernandes down towards Ahmad. It's 3-2 to Porto, who were 2-0 down after 20 minutes. Casemiro into the feet of Eriksson. Ericsson to Dallo out towards Garnacho taking the ball, bottom left-hand corner of the penalty area. Couldn't find a way past around Mario, and he will be able to bring it away. Another goal at Ibrox. It's going from bad to worse, David Tannant.
And it's Rangers 1, Lyon 4. We've played 55 minutes at Ibrox, and it's a second goal tonight for the Belgian under-21 international teenager Malik Fofana. Rangers 1, Olympique Lyon 4.
So a couple of goals there for Fofana, 4 for Lyon, 4-1 up at Rangers. Chelsea leading again by 2 goals to 1. TNS still 0-0 in Italy, away to Fiorentina earlier today. Wins for Spurs in the Europa League, and Hearts away from home in the Conference League. Manchester United, as things stand right now, slipping to a defeat, but it's not the result, it's the manner of it. Yet again, blowing a 2-0 lead. They've got a free kick here. Ahmad foul. Bruno takes it quickly. Ahmad thought that there should have been a yellow card there for Gonzalez. United will bring it forward. The ball bypasses Ericsson to find Casemiro in the midfield. Now played on down the right-hand side by Mazraoui. Dallo, Casemiro clipping it in behind Højlund and swept clear on the half volley by Zé Pedro. United win the seconds with Diogo Dallo. Quick exchange of passes between him and Garnacho. Ericsson's got the ball at his feet now. Back behind square from him inside the centre circle for De Ligt. Mazraoui will take it on. Trying to get away from Galeno, who's had actually quite a quiet night tonight. A player who really shone in the Champions League last season. Garnacho from distance. And a little palm stinger for the goalkeeper, but better for United.
Good strike, wasn't it? Garnacho there receiving it on the left-hand side, cutting in on that right foot. We know he can hit him. Hits that nice and hard, catches it true, but unfortunately it's straight at Diogo Costa.
Sports bar always plays for an interesting reaction, and tonight is going to be no different. 03717 223344. Very interested to hear Manchester United supporters' reaction to this performance. And we already, I know we've got half an hour to go. Listen, United might be able to come back and win this 5-6-3 against this Porto team, but have we already seen enough negatives tonight from United for the way that 2-0 has become 2-3 for it to be a bad night for Ten Hag?
Yeah, I think we have. Look, I'm personally of the opinion whatever happens over these 2 games, this one and the Villa game, I think they should change it anyway. I do.
Here's Galeno for Porto, 10 yards outside the penalty area. Gonzalez back for Zé Pedro, out to the right hand side for João Mario. United fans, do you agree, disagree with Andy? You can have your say on the sports bar tonight. Open for business with Jamie O'Hara and Jermaine Pennant. And 03717 223344 is the number. So much space for Porto in the midfield, but not a quality ball from João Mario as he's trying to roll it down the channel for Samu. Garnacho to Bruno Fernandes. And he's made the run forward, and Bruno has played a beautiful curving ball up the touchline. It was covered by Zé Pedro. He'll get across quickly, and he's tapped it out of play for a throw to United level with the edge of the Porto box.
It's a big call with what's happened with Rashford, Jim. I'm so intrigued to know what's happened there. Of course, we'll find out. I'd be staggered if he's come off for tactical reasons. I really would. I know he was at fault, certainly for the first goal. I think he could have done better in denying the cross for the second, but United's most dangerous player on the field by a distance in the first half.
Oh, it'll be interesting to hear whether Ten Hag feels as though it was the defensive deficiencies to his game outweighed what there was going forward. If you're just joining us, Rashford taken off at half-time.
I didn't see him limping, did you?
No, not at all.
Didn't see him limping at all. In fact, almost on half-time, he had that brilliant run across the 18-yard box and very nearly got United a third.
Mazraoui's got it. The clock ticks to the hour mark. De Ligt to Martinez. Martinez down the left-hand touchline for Garnacho. Half an hour left here, 90 minutes for them at Villa at the weekend. I wonder if we are into the last 2 hours of playing time now of Ten Hag's Manchester United reign. It's his 124th game tonight, and he's still won more than twice as many as he's lost. Third best win percentage of a Manchester United manager in history. But statistics can be funny things. Højlund helps it on. Looking for Ericsson, it's knocked away. United winning it back again. Bruno rifling one in from distance, which came back off Perez. It's all got a little bit scrappy for a moment. Bruno goes down. Play will continue. Porto are going to be making a change and bring Martin Fernandes, a right back, on very shortly for his European debut. He's only 18, but he's going to be coming on very shortly. He's going to be up against Garnacho, who's got the ball now. Eriksen on the left-hand side for Dalot. Back towards the edge of the penalty area again, with United continuing to make some headway. Porto defending stoutly enough. Mazraoui to Eriksen, playing the way that he's facing, back towards Lisandro Martinez. Dalot making a run on the overlap. Gets it onto his right foot, curves it in, headed away by Perez, and then further cleared by Galeno. Out on the edge of the penalty area, right footed shot comes in from Mazraoui, tipped to wide by the goalkeeper, and Garnacho from a very tight angle can't hit the target.
Goalkeeper again. Doesn't look convincing, does he, when anything's coming at him? He helps it to his right-hand side. The strike from the edge of the box is from Mazraoui. He should be dealing with it a lot better. He palms it right into the path of Garnacho, whose first touch just takes him a little too wide, and he can't get the shot on target.
And so the change being made by Porto. Pepe is coming off, and Martin will come on. And once that change is being made, we'll go back to Stamford Bridge. Hugh Woosacroft.
Chelsea 3, Ghent 1, another goal that came off the back of a recycled corner kick from out wide, and it is Christopher Nkunku on the periphery from the game, but came from the edge of the box like a steam train and smashed it through the Ghent goalkeeper and into the roof of the goal. Chelsea now well on their way to victory. Chelsea 3, Ghent 1.
7th of the season for Nkunku. Now Chelsea's top scorer this season. Bruno Fernandes. Down to the edge of the penalty area for Ahmad. United trailing 3-2, looking for a way back into it. Ahmad, Garnacho, right-footed effort from him is blocked. Ahmad has the opportunity to let it run out of play for a corner rather than play the ball, and he's done exactly that. So United have their first corner of the second half and their fourth of the game. And Porto have just got a player down injured for a moment. It's Eustachio who got hurt in effecting the block on Garnacho's shot. So this corner is going to be delayed. So they took the right winger off and they brought a right back on. So they just want a little bit more defensive solidity on that side of the field, Porto. Eriksen to take this corner. Right-footed, across the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away. Out as far as Mazraoui. He's hooked it towards the left. Big appeals from the Porto players for an offside flag. Nothing shown. Play goes on. United working forward again. Eriksen trying to arch a header back inside the 6-yard box for Garnacho's run. That one is dealt with. Headed then forward by Casemiro. Former Porto man finding Eriksen. Hooked inside the penalty area and again easily clear. Casemiro chasing the loose ball.
Keep it.
Trying to make something of it. He headed it down for Lisandro Martinez, who you might have gathered from Andy's reaction didn't keep it.
Just keep the ball there. That's really good pressure from United. They've got Porto scrambling, clearing balls, and it's coming back in the box, and they're having to clear it again. And eventually the ball comes out to Lisandro Martinez, who tries a shot from about 35 yards when it is not on. Nowhere near. Just get the ball back down on the floor and keep it.
Well, he's a player that hasn't scored for Manchester United since January last year when he netted against Arsenal. It's the only goal he's ever scored for the club, so it's just another instance, really, what you were talking about decision making not being great. United will get the ball clear from the edge of their own penalty area, but not too far away. It's bobbling around. Samu can bring it down, gets the second bite of the cherry and forces a save out of Onana, diving to his left hand side. Looked as though the chance had gone, and then hit the licked and fell straight back to him. And Samu on a hat-trick tests Onana, but he can make a relatively comfortable save, diving to his left corner.
Ball bobbling around again. De Ligt and Lisandro Martinez there, about 35 yards apart, the two centre-halves. Eventually the ball goes back to Samu. If he had a better first touch, he'd have been through clear one-on-one. As it was, his shot was turned around the corner by Onana. So
Porto to take this corner, leading 3-2, looking for a little bit of daylight between the two teams. Zé Pedro, Perez, Eustachio, Galeno, all waiting for the corner. It's swung inside the penalty area. First contact from Galeno, who then stabs it towards goal. Dalot clears on the edge of the 6-yard box. Bruno Fernandes can hook it away. Deadlock broken in Florence. Jeff Peters.
Yes, it's Fiorentina 1, the New Saints 0. 65 minutes, the Welsh Premier League club were able to hold out, but Adley has just given the Italians the lead. Left-footed, bottom corner. It's broken some hearts, but they are battling hard. Fiorentina 1, TNS 0.
So TNS trailing 1-0. Rangers 4-1 down at home to Lyon. Chelsea 3-1 up at home to Ghent. Wins earlier today for Spurs and Hearts. Shamrock Rovers a goal down at home to Apoel, and Manchester United were 2-0 up after 20 minutes. At the midway point of this second half, they are 3-2 down to Porto. Conceded 3 in 22 minutes either side of half-time. United in possession inside their own half. Now bring it forward into Porto territory to find Garnacho. Garnacho back behind square. Dallo making his way forward. Fernandes trying to squeeze the ball down the left-hand side of the penalty area, but Porto have easily been able to win it back. They've got Zirkzee on the bench in terms of an attacking option. Not a lot, really, in terms of players that Erik ten Hag can call upon. Anthony trying to catch the manager's eye and get the opportunity to come on as well, but with just over 20 minutes to go, they need to shake things up.
Well, they do. They're not out of it yet, Jim. They're not out of it yet, United. At 3-2, I still think, well, I've witnessed in the last 10 minutes, there's something in this for United if they can take a bit of care and find something again. The problem they've got is, can they deny Porto? Can they prevent them from adding to the 3 they've already got? Here's the double change, Jim.
Yeah, it's going to be Anthony and Zirkzee who will be introduced. And who's it going to be to make way? You would imagine Ahmad will come off to make way for Anthony. Is it going to be Zirkzee for Højlund, a straight swap, or is he going to come on to supplement the day? Well, Højlund's made his way down towards this near touchline, so it is just a couple of straight swaps. Zirkzee for Højlund and Ahmad off to be replaced by Anthony.
Not surprised about the Ahmad one. I'm slightly disappointed to see Rasmus Højlund going off, but bearing in mind he hasn't had a tremendous amount of football. Obviously, nowadays they like to really wrap their players up in cotton wool till they're back up to speed. So no surprises there.
So Zirkzee comes on, a player who's never scored in European football. 1 goal in his United career so far, a winner on the opening weekend against Fulham. 7 without a goal since then. Here's Samu.
Good football.
And just played the way that he was facing, turned the ball cleverly out towards the right hand side for Galeno. Galeno getting it forward for Martin, pulled back again. Galeno trying to chip the goalkeeper. It's gone straight out of play, and it's a goal kick to Manchester United. Another goal in Florence. Jeff Peters.
Yeah, it's another goal for the Italians. Fiorentina 2, the New Saints 0. Moise Kean, former Everton striker, off the bench. His first shot was blocked by the goalkeeper Connor Roberts, but then was able to just follow up and tap in from 1 yard out. 2 goals in 3 minutes. Fiorentina 2, TNS 0.
And at Stamford Bridge, Hugh Rizencroft.
Chelsea 4, Ghent 1, all wrapped up and all too easy. João Felix's through ball to Nkunku wasn't dealt with by the Ghent defence, and on the charge from midfield, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall to slot home with that trusty left foot. Definitely game over now. Chelsea 4, Ghent 1.
Porto 3, Manchester United 2 in this game, with Anthony midway inside the Porto half, playing it back for Mazraoui. Mazraoui into the feet of Casemiro. Mazraoui has it again. Garnacho coming in off the I beg your pardon, Anthony coming in off the right flank, back from him to Bruno Fernandes, now to Casemiro. Here is Garnacho. Dallo playing it to him on the left flank, pulled back towards Casemiro. Good first touch from him. Bruno from distance, and he's found it wide at the top right hand corner. You're listening to Porto against Manchester United in the Europa League. It's live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day.
They managed to get Bruno Fernandes absolutely in the position you want. At 22 yards out, pretty much centre of the pitch. Casemiro gave him a clever little ball. 1 touch out of his feet, looking to hit it. Just got a little nudge in the back as he struck it, which was enough to send it wide for a goal kick.
United have had 20 attempts tonight.
Look, and they've looked dangerous. I think there's still something in this game for them. I just don't trust them when they go out of possession and defensively. I don't trust them at all, but I still believe with what's left in this game, 20 plus minutes, that they can still find a way.
Yeah, it's 20 attempts to 12 in terms of the raw stats, possession 50-50, but the XG is in Porto's favour. United in possession, working with Bruno Fernandes down the left-hand side. 3-2 they trail with just a shade under 20 minutes to go. And let me tell you what's going on elsewhere in the Europa League. Bilbao leading AZ Alkmaar 1-0. Eintracht Frankfurt 2 up away to Besiktas. Elfsborg 1, Roma 0. Pauk 0, Stour 1. Poulsen against Ludogorets still 0-0. Lyon 4-1 up at Rangers, as we've been hearing from David Tanner. Saint-Gilloise 0, Bodo Glimt 0. And Twente against Fenerbahce is 1-1. Conference League scores. Chelsea, as we heard, leading Ghent 4-1. Borat Banja Luka being held at home by Panathinaikos 1-1. Copenhagen 1, Jagiellonia 1. Fiorentina 2 up against TNS. The Swedish side, Djurgården 2-2 away to Last Linz. Lugano 2, HJK 0. Petrikov 1, Paphos 3. And Shamrock Rovers now down to 10 men against Apoel. Farrugia sent off. Neil Farrugia sent off 5 minutes into the second half at Shamrock 0, Apoel 1. This one, Porto 3, Manchester United 2. Let's go back to Stamford Bridge. Here's Hugh Rosencraft.
Still Chelsea 4, Ghent 1. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall a few moments ago, adding the icing on the cake. Left out of the squad in the Premier League at the weekend, but back into the side and scoring his first Chelsea goal. Again, trying to come back into this, but this one's certainly over. Chelsea 4, Ghent 1.
And to Ibrox, Rangers against Lyon, David Tanner.
And it's gone, it's Rangers 1, Olympique Lyon 4, and there was a double chance for Lyon when Rayan Cherki's header rattled the crossbar. The rebound was headed off the line by sub Casemiro, who, by the way, replaced James Tavernier with half an hour to go, which raised some eyebrows here at Ibrox. Rangers 1, Lyon 4.
And how are TNS getting on? Any sign of consolation? Half the deficit, Jeff Peters.
Really, Fiorentina 2, TNS 0, very nearly 3-0, but Roberts has made another terrific save in the TNS goal. It looks like the Italians are just going to get more in this game. Perhaps the Welsh side might get a consolation, but I cannot see them getting anything from this now. Fiorentina 2, the New Saints 0.
I was still not aware of anything in terms of an injury for Marcus Rashford, Andy.
No.
That change that was made in the early moments of at half-time, should I say, replaced by Garnacho.
Yeah.
It does appear to be tactical.
Look, I'm sure every United fan will want to know exactly the thought process behind that. Yes, without question, Marcus should have done better defensively, particularly for the first goal. But he was most certainly United's most dangerous player, without question, Jim. So really interested to see what Ten Hag's thinking there.
Porto 3, Manchester United 2. Let's go back to Stamford Bridge. Hugh Rosencraft.
Well, Chelsea are in firm control against Ghent at the moment. No risk of giving away their lead. They are pushing for another goal as Kiernan Dewsbury Hall flashes a shot just by the Ghent post. He's feeling in the mood this evening, having got his first Chelsea goal. It has been a controlled performance from Enzo Maresca's side. The only real trouble came for them in the final 15 minutes or so of the first half. A couple of breaks from the English left-back, Archie Brown, who had a shot well dealt with by Jorgensen. Started his career with Derby County, by the way. And then a shot flashed over the bar by Gudjonsson, the son of the great Ida Gudjonsson, who plays in the Ghent team this evening. A couple of firsts for Chelsea during the evening as well. Renato Vega getting his first goal for the club to add to Dewsbury Hall as well. Pedro Neto looking in the mood. It is a rosy mood here at Stamford Bridge for Chelsea as they push for a fifth goal on the evening. Let's head back to Jim Proudfoot and Andy Townsend.
15 minutes to go then. Porto 3, Manchester United 2. And the ball back with Anana just inside his penalty area. Played forward by him inside the centre circle. United with an opportunity to try and get it forward again. And Porto just happy to drop off and allow Manchester United easy possession. Mazraoui will play it back inside the centre circle. Now Lisandro Martinez brings it forward. Xerxes hasn't really seen too much action since coming on, but he's making his way towards the edge of the penalty area. The ball just fired past him. He couldn't react quickly enough and would go through to the goalkeeper, Diogo Costa. 3-2.
Yeah, not the best ball from Casemiro. Tried to play it first time, just to knock it into Xerxes, but just ball popped up as he went to make the pass, and unfortunately he's knocked it through to the Porto goalkeeper. Comfortable save from him.
So Marko Grujic, the one-time Liverpool and Cardiff player, is going to be coming on in a moment, the Serbian international, to anchor the midfield. Porto on the front foot here, get towards the edge of the area, left-footed effort wide across the face of Onana's goal. United will be happy when the efforts are flying in from that kind of distance, particularly João Mario, the right back, on his weaker left foot.
Tell you what though, he's been up and down that right side, João Mario, hasn't he, the entire game. You know, we're in the 76th minute and he has not stopped flying forward. Another shot from him, 8 yards wide of the post. No danger to Onana, but good intent from him.
United bring it forward. Garnacho inside the penalty area. Rode the first challenge, couldn't ride the second. Laid back deeper for Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro now. Casemiro towards the edge of the box. Anthony trying his luck, left-footed effort blocked at source. Loose ball ricochets forward towards the midfield. Porto have done well to win it back. Samu waiting for the ball on the touchline. It didn't get there because of a challenge that came in. There was a poor one from Mazraoui, and the referee's going to have a word.
Yeah, just dived in a little bit there, Mazraoui, desperate to pinch the ball back. Unfortunately, just a little too heavy-handed with that challenge. Referee gives Porto a free kick, all the pressure relieved.
And so Grujic with the chance to come on here. Didn't really make too much of an impression at Liverpool. 16 games he had in 5 years at Anfield. But I think that this tells you everything you need to know about Vitor Bruno's mindset with 13 minutes to go, because he's taking Samu off and Grujic is coming on to replace him. So that's a striker being replaced by a defensive midfielder.
Yeah, they feel they can hang on. They feel they can see this one out with the 3-2 advantage that they have. Samu played terrific. He was always a threat, always a danger. Used his size and his presence to really good effect. Got himself a couple of very, very good goals. United will be disappointed perhaps, particularly with his first one, but certainly his second one was a very good football from Porto, and he finished it. Great movement from him, peeled in behind De Ligt, then got across the front of him, timed it perfectly and fired it into the roof of the net.
Yeah, he's going to be some player. Well, he already is some player, to be fair, at the age of 20, but he's going to be a real talent. Samu off. And Fabio Vieira comes on as well. Player on loan from Arsenal. Has only seen 25 minutes of action so far within this loan spell. That came at the weekend. He's been injured since making the move. And Manchester United will also make a change. Eustachio, the player that came off for Vieira. United are bringing Maguire and Evans on. And they've taken the two centre-halves, De Ligt and Martinez, off.
Well, you don't normally see that, do you? Only normally when you're defending a lead. Not when you're searching for something a bit more. A little bit all over the place tonight, particularly Martinez, I felt. De Ligt got done a couple of times there, again with that third goal. It's an interesting call again from Ten Hag.
That's almost a double change made with the weekend in mind, do you think?
Maybe. Well, yeah, maybe.
Managing players' workload. 79 on the clock. Porto 3. Manchester United 2. Another change made by Porto, incidentally, with Dennis Gould, who scored in both games off the bench since signing from the Swedish club Hammarby in August. And he is on for the last 12 minutes. He's replaced João Mario. He'll play off the right-hand side. Mazraoui in possession. 3-2 Manchester United lead. Trail, I beg your pardon, and it goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the near touchline. United next in action away to Villa, then Brentford at home after the international break. But who will be in charge then? Could still, of course, be Erik Ten Hag. But this has not been a performance that has taken ammunition away from his detractors. United will get it forward towards Garnacho. There's still plenty of time for United to turn this around. Just over 10 minutes to go. United trailing Porto by 3-2. Ball hoisted out towards the left-hand touchline. Headed back down for Garnacho. Right-footed ball swung inside the box and headed away.
Dangerous ball in that from Garnacho.
There's been a clash ahead, so the referee's obliged to stop proceedings. It's Noen Perez who's gone down hurt. Bruno Fernandes attacking it, and Noen has gone down, hurting his head, and play will stop. Now let's go back to Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea are in complete control. Hugh Woozencroft.
Chelsea 4, Ghent 1, beginning to try and really enjoy themselves, Chelsea, this evening. The fans here inside Stamford Bridge have thoroughly enjoyed it. A couple of changes from the bench for Enzo Maresca's side. Now Mark Gui on the pitch as well. The youngster Tyreek George on the pitch to try and get a special moment in front of the Stamford Bridge faithful. It has been a great night's work for them, all wrapped up with plenty still to go. Hopeful for more goals. Chelsea 4, Ghent 1.
Hugh, thank you. So 4-1 there, and still Porto 3, Manchester United 2. The score at the Dragao. Porto will try and get it away again. Working forward up the left-hand touchline. Now back for Costa. And he'll get it forward, and the United back line has been breached once more. It's an opportunity to seal it. Onana with a crucial save, got his left leg to it, and it's beaten away. Comes back out on the edge of the penalty area. That one's blocked as well. Ricochets out towards Anthony when Porto break quickly on the counter-attack. United are just being carved completely open, and that was the chance to seal it with 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, that was the one to seal the deal there. The ball eventually arriving on the edge of the box. Really good strike. Onana does ever so well to save that. Comes back out to Fabio Vieira, who can't really get the shot away, but big chance for Porto to really put this one to bed.
It looks as though it's Mazraoui that have played everybody onside. Onana with an absolutely crucial save. So 3-2 it is. United with so much work to do now that Bruno Fernandes has been sent off. Here's Maguire playing it back just on the edge of his own penalty area, and it goes back to Onana again. Fernandes sent off for the second time in as many games. The last red card, of course, rescinded. This one a second yellow. And United with just so much to do. Ball goes out towards the right flank for Porto. Porto 3, Manchester United 2 the score. Xerxes giving chase. Absolutely powerless to do anything, and the fact that United are now down to 10, it's all unravelling so quickly. Ball play back for the Porto goalkeeper Diogo Costa. And on the edge of his own penalty area, it's Pedro getting it back to his goalkeeper. He worked forward up the left-hand touchline and chested down by Mazraoui, goes out of play. It's a throw actually that he will be able to take himself. Porto 3, United 2, 6 minutes to go. Maguire knocking it square for Johnny Evans. Evans inside the centre circle, plays it back for Maguire again. The two of them just exchanging passes. United desperately needing some kind of spark, some kind of inspiration. Evans out to Garnacho. Now Maguire inside his half of the centre circle. Now Maguire bringing it forward, just flicking it off to his left. Johnny Evans, United with possession inside Porto territory. Get it towards Xerxes. Back it goes again for Maguire. Maguire inside the centre circle. Down towards the touchline. And he's just been able to keep that in. He's worked it back, and Onana having to scamper through the penalty area. He can keep it in, stop it going out of play for a corner, and he will now drive it forward towards halfway. 5 to go. Porto 3, Manchester United 2. Let's go back to Stamford Bridge. Here's Hugh Woozencroft.
Chelsea 4, Ghent 1, 5 minutes left on the clock. There has been a little bit of endeavour from the Belgians, who had a shot wisp just millimetres wide of the Chelsea upright. That has been their only endeavour into the Chelsea half for this entire second half. It's been Chelsea domination. They haven't created much since scoring the fourth goal through Keane and Dewsbury Hall, 15 or so minutes ago, but they're comfortable for their lead. It is Chelsea 4, Ghent 1.
So 5 goals there, 5 goals here. Manchester United on the wrong side of this. Some very doleful expressions on that Manchester United bench, as you can imagine. Ball is headed by Maguire. Zirkzee nodding it down. Anthony flicking it forward. He'll be cleared up the left-hand touchline. That's second yellow for Bruno Fernandes for the high foot. He may well feel a little bit hard done by, but it'll be interesting to see what the reaction is.
Yeah, again, he's gone in with his foot high in the opposing 6-yard box, desperately trying to make something happen, but it just about puts the lid on another disappointing night for United. It does. And they look a bit of a rabble now. They've made that many changes, losing him as well. I mean, they very nearly conceded a fourth. I think had that one have gone in, you know, there would have been real problems. But they're still alive in this game. There's still a chance yet.
Zirkzee, right-hand side of the penalty area. Little 1-2. Have they won the corner? No, it's just gone out of play for a throw. In fact, it hit Zirkzee last anyway. And it'll be a throw that'll be taken by Porto on the left flank. 87 gone. Porto 3, Manchester United 2. Vitor Bruno still such an animated figure on the Porto bench, even with a goal lead and being a man up as well. He senses with the pressure that he's under that this isn't done yet. I think Manchester United's body language on their bench suggests differently. Plenty of heads looking down at the floor. Ball headed on by Maguire, knocked away. Brought under control though by Azraoui. He goes back for Maguire. Inside his own half is Johnny Evans. Evans goes back to Maguire once more. Find Onana. Onana bringing it forward outside the penalty area. 3-2, 3 to go. And United just looking for a moment of inspiration, which could provide a stay of execution. And towards Christian Eriksen.
Great play from Eriksen. Lovely control.
Garnacho taking it on. Right-footed effort.
Oh, unlucky.
Really good rising drive. And Diogo Costa's done well to chip it over the bar and put it out of play for a corner.
Oh, what a strike that was from Garnacho. Lovely switch from Harry Maguire. 50 yards from the right back position, right out to the left wing. Garnacho picks it up, flies inside on the right foot and hits it really hard and true. And Diogo Costa has to make a really important fingertip save.
So a corner for Manchester United. Will a set piece give them an unlikely way back into this game? Eriksen's going to take it. 3-2 they trail. In towards the far post. Maguire trying to get his head to it. Garnacho back into the fray. That's knocked away by Gonzalez. And of course with United pushing the bodies forward and being a man light, they leave themselves prone to a counter-attack. Johnny Evans has done well to get back goal side. In fact, Porto bringing forward Gruitch just slowed it down, and that really has been to their detriment, and it's aided United. They've got their shape kind of back behind the ball now. Gonzalez working back out towards the right-hand side. Little 1-2. Gruitch will bring it forward. The tall Serbian flicking it off to his right, and they're just wanting to keep possession.
Yeah,
3-2 will do them.
They've got the extra man. They're just going to keep the ball now. They got all the way up the field, almost towards the edge of United's box. Come all the way back. Now it's gone back to the goalkeeper. Tell you what, sensible play. You've got the extra man, you've got the goal advantage, keep the ball.
Diogo Costa driving it forward. Played in off the left-hand side by Galeno. Galeno to Francisco Moura. United in the 90th minute here, trailing 3-2. Can't afford to concede another, that goes without saying. Fabio Vieira trying to make something happen. United are there to be able to sweep it away. It's another goal at Stamford Bridge, Hugh.
Chelsea 4, Ghent 2 now, and it's a marauding centre-back, Stefan Mitrovic, who is side-footed home to give Ghent some hope in the closing stages as 4 minutes are added on. Still looks like Chelsea will hold on for this one. Chelsea 4, Ghent 2.
It's a chance for Onana to bring it forward from the back. You would imagine a fair bit of stoppage time to be added. 3-2 United trail. Anthony down by the corner flag, wins a corner. There's no way Francisco Moura was going to let him past. Anthony picking up the ball, retrieving it from in front of the hoarding, spots it down, and he has the chance to deliver here. 5 added minutes. Can United salvage something from a torrid night? In it comes towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed away. Comes back out towards Mazraoui. He feeds Garnacho. Garnacho on his right foot. Another effort, but that one deflects away, goes out for another corner.
Another corner. The first ball in from Garnacho was a good one. Really dangerous, fast delivery. Got to do it again now. Must make sure that they miss that first man. and give Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire and co a chance to go and attack this.
Christian Eriksen will take the corner on the Manchester United right. Swung in towards the penalty spot. Oh, yes! It's in! Harry Maguire coming onto it, and he nods it into the bottom left-hand corner. And there is your unlikely sanctuary salvation. Great ball in from the right flank. Maguire coming to meet it, nods it in, and the 10 men of Manchester United are level again.
Brilliant header from Harry Maguire, that. Fantastic corner from Christian Eriksen, and he just wanted it more. He just goes after it. It's a really good delivery. The marking from Porto is hopeless, but credit Harry Maguire. Keeps his eye firmly on the ball, just shrugs off the defender in front of him, and then just plants it firmly into the corner. Diogo Costa doesn't even move, nowhere near it, and looks like United may well have grabbed something out of this game.
Well, Harry Maguire, in the first minute of stoppage time, makes it 3-3. It's only his 12th Manchester United goal in more than 200 games. Will it be anything more than an academic footnote for Erik ten Hag? Is it the goal that could perhaps provide them with an unlikely platform for an extraordinary come-from-behind victory? 3 minutes of stoppage time to go. 3-3 the score. United's first thought, of course, clearly is going to be hanging on to protect the point that they've just about earned now. Perez inside the centre circle, plays it to his left for Francisco Moura. Moura cutting back inside, put under pressure by Antony. Now Perez again. Perez to his right for Zé Pedro. Zé Pedro's ball up the right-hand touchline. Manchester United rejuvenated by that equalising goal, but still defensive work to do. 2.5 minutes to hang on here. It's a newfound parity. Francisco Moura's ball inside the box. That's headed away. Referee spotted an infringement. Free kick to United for a foul on Johnny Evans.
Yeah, clumsy challenge that. Johnny Evans keeps his eye on the ball. It's a good headed clearance away. He'd be delighted that he did get bundled to the floor, because it gives him the chance to take the free kick, and they can just reset United, draw breath, and make sure with the 10 men that they get this done now, that they see this out.
3-3. 2 minutes to go. The free kick that Onana, understandably, is in absolutely no hurry to take. And he'll drive it forward, right-footed, over the halfway line. Zirkzee on the ground by the time the ball got there, and he's given a free kick away. United really need more from their big striker there to be able to hold the ball up under pressure. Porto taking the free kick quickly. Centre halves have got it. Perez. Zirkzee denies him any room to push forward upfield, and it goes to the right-hand side instead. Back towards Perez. Perez driving it out towards the Porto left. Has that gone out of play? Anthony claimed that it had. The assistant referee's flag then comes up, and it's a throw to Manchester United, and they're edging ever closer to a 3-3 draw.
Yeah, well, look, let's give them credit for battling away and getting themselves back on level terms. It's been such a weird night, watching this game. The start was brilliant. They allowed Porto back into it. It looked like it completely got away from them. But then, after losing Bruno Fernandes, they've somehow found a way to get back in it.
Right, it's like where the loss of a 2-0 lead, the red card of Bruno Fernandes are going to be making the headlines. Controversial second yellow card shown to Fernandes for raising his foot to try and get a ball in around the edge of the 6-yard box. And the defender ducking his head. It was deemed dangerous play. Fernandes sent off for the second yellow card. But United, to their credit, look as though they're going to get a point. Harry Maguire's late goal has indeed proved enough. 3-3 the full-time score. 6 goals, and that doesn't even begin to tell the story of a dramatic night. Will it be a stay of execution, the Harry Maguire equaliser? for Erik ten Hag? Or were there enough negatives on show that it's another nail in his coffin? Porto 3, Manchester United 3.
Well, Manchester United fans, was that enough? It's another match without a win for Erik ten Hag. An 8th place finish in the Premier League last season. How many games did you give him to save his job? Because we're 10 games in and he's won 3 of them, including against newly promoted Southampton and League One Barnsley. Only 1 win in your past 10 European matches. You sit 13th in the Premier League, and a buoyant Aston Villa will be baying for blood this weekend. The question is, can Erik ten Hag survive another mauling in the Premier League? Will he even make it that far after giving away a 2-goal lead today, albeit Harry Maguire's header pulled back at least a point in the Europa League? Or do you think Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos Sport will finally do what we all know, what they know is the only thing to do, and finally make the change that they should have made at the end of last season and maybe stop the rot at Old Trafford? Is it stick to the plan for you and Erik ten Hag? 03717 223344. You can have your say on Talksport this evening. Jamie O'Hara and Jermaine Pennant will be with you very, very shortly. We'll react with Jim Proudfoot to the result between Porto and Manchester United, but first, full time in the Europa League at Ibrox. David Tanner.